Good morning.
Good. Well, now I don't feel like it. Good morning, and welcome to Scoop's Morning News with Dan and Craig. I am Dan.
And I'm Craig. And I just killed your thunder.
There's some fucking scoops.
You're watching Two Scoops Morning News with Dan and Craig, your sunrise reminder that things could get worse, so laugh at them while you still can.
I cut that off too fast, too. It's going great so far, but
We're doing good. We're doing really good here.
last week on my Wednesday episode, me and Dave Casey broke down all of Sam Smith's latest controversy. So if you want, we can't give you all the backstory because that's like an entire episode of its own. Like the latest piss tape controversies and then his music video and stuff like that.
Wow.
Oh, are you not familiar with that one?
No, I
Oh,
better
shit.
No.
So the abridged is I used to be a big fan of Sam Smith, and then he came out as gay, and I was like, all right, cool, I can, that's fine. And then he was like, nobody's paying attention to me, so I'm non-binary now, and I was like, all right, fine, just keep making
cares?
good songs.
Who fucking
And
cares? Yeah.
Yes, I don't
Yes.
care. I don't care. And then his last music video came out just like less than a week before this latest iteration, and his last music video was enough for me to go, yep, there's the line. All right, thank you. Bye-bye.
So I'm guessing. So this is literally all I knew about Sam Smith until like yesterday. The song I think that you're referring to, the song "Unholy."
No,
Is that
I'm not here to make friends. It's a different one.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well, the song "Unholy" is catchy. It's like super catchy.
It's catchy as shit, and I've been saying that too. Man, the Illuminati makes some bangers, but
yes.
Holy shit.
Super fucking catchy. It's on my list of catchy songs, but just the fact that it's titled "Unholy," and if I actually allow myself to listen to the lyrics, I'm like, yeah, this guy's fucking weird. And then I saw this current shit here, and this is literally all I know about Sam Smith. So I'm gonna have to go back and watch your episode.
Yes.
I guess.
Yes, do. Yeah, and this latest thing, I have a lot of thoughts. So for anybody who's not been paying attention, and good on you if you haven't, the Grammys happened. Nobody knew until this controversy came out that the Grammys were happening or had happened, but this came out, so now we're going to talk about it. CBS-Sanctioned. I guess the best way to describe it is just, I don't know, simulated devil worship and prostitution. And so the song is called Unholy, and it's basically it's not a well-written lyrically song.
No, it's not at all, actually.
It's a catchy as shit song, but the lyrics are just really kind of juvenile in a lot of ways, or maybe not juvenile, but they're very
Shallow.
That's a good word for it. And they come out on stage in red latex and are doing this homage to Satan dancing in a circle and devouring him at the end. The demons do, I suppose.
I wouldn't call it prostitution. I'd call it more like sex slave cult type.
Just general debauchery combined with Satanism. And did you know that the girl who's singing, in addition, is a transgender individual and was the youngest?
Yes, I read it to her. I was like, who is this person? Oh, that's this person. All right. So,
and again, to be fair, she's got some pipes.
Yes.
Good. It's like impressive that you were a man and now you're that, and you're pulling it off well. You got some good pipes, but also maybe just I don't know. The devil worship thing is so overdone. There's a part of me that's like, from an artistic standpoint, this is catchy. This is fun to look at in some ways, and you sing well. But also, this is glorifying like child transitioning and all that.
Well, that's the thing I had with this was, hey, we've got not only this supposed gender neutral guy, but we have this person that transitioned at what, like 16 years old,
Yeah.
And again, like you said, the youngest at the time to fully transition. Um, the song is good, but I think anybody, as far as the male part's concerned, could have sang this and wrote it and had whoever his producers are produce it just as equally
Oh
well
yeah.
because overly well produced.
Sam
But
Smith had very little to do with the
yeah, his
catchiness
role
of this song.
his role in this is not that great, and anybody could have done it. But I feel like they definitely made a point to have a supposed non-binary person with a trans person specifically to perform this, so we could have it on this main stage to glorify whatever shit they're glorifying. And I'd say, to say the least, it's gross. Maybe just
Sure.
gross.
And I would say gross and also just not as I don't know. It's not that edgy, really. It's not as edgy as they want to think they are.
Mm-hmm.
Um like compare this to like old Manson stuff where he's like dangling like he's up high in the air on like a pulpit looking like a priest dressed like the pope and like ripping up a bible like that was the edgy anti-Christian stuff and that happened 20 years ago and now you've got this and it's like all right it's a little weird that it's on primetime TV but if you took all the I don't know the gender politics stuff out of this equation I'd be like yeah it's just I don't find it that offensive the this it's more like CBS posting on Twitter that they're ready to worship with Sam Smith, and then you come out and do this. Then it's like,
Right.
oh, so this like that makes my conspiracy brain more so go, okay, so is that
Well,
what
yeah.
you call
'Cause
this?
first, he posted a picture of him in the latex and devil horns, and was just like, "Hey, it's about to be lit," or something stupid like that.
Yeah,
And so it's just him dressed as Satan, which happens, like you said, all the time. And then CBS comes out and says, "Hey, we're ready to worship with you," and that's when the article first came out, and I'm like, yeah, that sounds a little weird, and the conservatives are going insane over this, but it could just be them like being like, "Hey, this is cool. You look cool. Let's." I mean, yeah, it's poor choice of words, but then they come out with the performance, and literally, they are worshiping. It
right.
literally is worshiping Satan. That's like the whole
Or like even
performance.
like playing fat gay devil's advocate. Um, even if
Yeah,
this
who thought it
isn't
was a good idea to put Sam Smith in latex? That's the worst part of this. That is the biggest
Yo,
outrage.
yo, yo, yo. No. Go watch his last music video and you will be thanking him for wearing tight spandex on this one because thank God he's fucking clothed this time. It gets worse, I assure you. Um, but yeah, even if he's not quote unquote worshiping Satan, even if this is just edgy artistic choice, it's like, but you said worshiping, and then the whole song is like glorifying to just general, at best, general debauchery and anti like things that are good in the world.
So
And the
straight.
song is about adultery. That it like to me like the Satanism stuff is just the icing on the cake of the hey let's worship the child transitioning message push here the non-binary like the confusion the just the general debauchery and then the Pfizer sponsorship that could not have been like better placed than it was you're familiar right
Yeah.
you know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about where
Uh,
trying to find a clip of it, but when this ends, right at the
no.
end of it, it comes up with let me find it. Comes up with sponsored by Pfizer
Good
immediately
God.
after. Like it
See?
couldn't be any more perfectly placed. This one's not gonna have it either, is it?
Satan, sponsored by Pfizer.
Right. It's like after the last couple years, you're gonna I don't know. It's just like the conspiracy brain in me is like, oh yeah, they're just putting it straight up in your face and sponsored by shit. That's loud. Don't need another copyright strike. It's there. I'm not sure why I can't find it, but yeah, sponsored by Pfizer. Nobody's gonna have it.
No, but it's there somewhere.
It's there.
So I don't know. Just this is just the celebration of our degrade into straight total hedonism? Is that what this is? Because that's what it seems like. It's just like let's celebrate the fact that we are total degenerate
Right.
heathens now.
And
Um I,
I
and I
go ahead.
if you want to go along with this whole hey, we're not a Christian nation, fine. That is technically how it was set up. I mean, it was founded by Masons and Christians, supposedly. Who cares? But uh, what are we doing by going totally opposite? It's like, yeah, we're not a Christian nation, but we are totally a Satan nation.
Right. CD McRae says there are pasties, Craig. Pasties. She's talking about his last music video, and yes, pasties, a corset, and piss tapes.
Piss tapes on the music video.
Yep. So it does get
Oh.
worse. It does get worse. Like the devil doesn't nearly as much offend me as his last music video, but
Right.
yeah. And man, I wish I could find it because it's like it's almost like you made an SNL parody of Hollywood with the Pfizer sponsor at the end, and it's not like a YouTube ad that just happened to run or like a commercial that happened to run. No, it's like the flames are still going on in the background that says just brings up their logo and says brought to you by Pfizer. It's like, yep, that makes sense.
Now, does like you said, this is just your kind of typical edgy performance, but the fact that there is clearly homage to like sex cults on primetime TV, does that not strike you a little strange? Now, the Satan part I could understand, but this is blatant like Satan sex cult type. Uh,
That's true
I
because it does have a lot of the bondage theme, and she's in a cage, and there's like
prime time
strippers.
television.
Right.
On prime time. I could see this in
I'm
a
pretty
music
sure all the
video.
dancers are dudes also,
Oh,
because that's
God.
kind of what he's been doing
guess
a
that
lot.
So, yeah, if you wanna have this in a music video, that's on you. Your followers will find it and watch it and be fine with it, but to throw this up on, what, like, 7 o'clock TV where I
I
mean,
think it's good.
do families still watch primetime, really? Does anybody still watch primetime? I
No.
don't remember the last time people were like, "All right, guys, it's primetime. Let's sit down and watch what's on the latest." No. But still, supposedly there are still children watching at that hour, and this is pretty fucked up.
Yeah, it is, and also I kind of think it's good because put it out there, put it right in everyone's face. What your motivation, what your agenda, what your message is. Like, if I was a gay person or even a trans person or a non-binary person or a fat cow, I would not be happy with the representation that I'm receiving in the media because whether it's a Christian nation or not, this is the reason why they think this is edgy is because they know that a lot of people will be offended by it, and they know a lot of people like I don't know if I was in that community, I would be sick of like the Christian community always being like, hey, you guys are evil devil worshippers, and then you have your representation come out and literally worship the devil on primetime
Yeah.
television. It's like,
You know what? You're right. We are devil worshippers, absolutely. And they're like, "Fuck, we're finally getting to the point where they weren't calling us devil
right,
worshippers."
this is not the way to make it socially acceptable in the mainstream, but I mean, a lot of people stood up and clapped like seals, so I guess somebody's into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and let's play. This is them receiving their award, and everybody clapping like seals for child genital mutilation. Oh, come on, you were just playing.
Sam graciously wanted me to accept this award because I'm the first transgender woman to win this award.
I mean, not to be too conspiracy minded or anything, but there's almost a part of me that doesn't even believe that she's transgender.
I thought that when I first looked it up because
that is real passing right there.
I had read that that he was going to perform with some transgender, like practically a child. So I went to look this person up, and I'm just like, no, that person's not. They must have got that wrong. That person's not transgender. So I went to the Wikipedia page, and sure as shit, supposedly is transgender. I'm just like,
Are you sure though?
you sure about this?
Like if there was an agenda being pushed It's certainly there, and I don't know. Like,
But
good
do you have
kudos
to have an
to
actual transgender person to push that agenda, or can you just say, "Look at this really"?
right. You could be
Um,
this beautiful and this amazing of a singer. I don't know.
Derek Ambrose says they're trans.
Oh, that makes sense. It's a
Now,
woman who identifies as a man that identifies as a woman.
yes, we've talked about this on
Mm-hmm.
this show actually. This new trend going around.
Hey, somebody else caught it. Sam Smith in the music video for this song and in this performance. There's one part where he throws up what we're told is the white power hand sign, just the
Oh,
OK sign. But if you've been around the conspiracy world for long enough, for decades, that sign has been considered more of a 666 homage because it makes 3 6s, and so it's interesting that we were told it was a white supremacy hand sign, and then in this devil worshipping thing, he's like flashing it up, and nobody was offended by that for some
did he
reason.
do it over his eye though? Because if he does it over his eye, then it's totally cool.
No.
Oh, well, then it's not cool.
This is-
So, well, ew.
This is pretty accurate right here. It's Fat Satan from South Park.
So, do we want to move on?
I don't know. I don't know. Another point that, like, as many conservatives have made this point, it's just like, yeah, good on you, be an edgy dog, whatever. But how come nobody ever makes fun of, like, Muslims?
That's true.
Like, if you're anti-organized religion, how come 0 people come out and do the real edgy thing, which is making fun of Muslims?
Yeah, like dress up as like Muhammad or something,
Right.
and I don't know, do some sort of Muhammad debauchery.
Trans Mohammed.
Yeah. Oh my God, that place would be shot up in an instant.
Yeah, what does that tell you about multiple things, about the culture, about certain things that we're accepting of, and
Yeah.
people who respond in certain ways.
Now the good thing about this is, you used to really have to at these award shows and like the Super Bowl performance, you had to actually break down all the symbolism for everybody to understand what's going on.
Right.
You don't got to do that anymore. It's just there. Like
Our
we
job
don't
is so much easier these days. It's
Like,
like
you don't have to
there
look-
was a cult and satanic symbolism in Sam Smith's latest performance. See,
Now,
it's just there.
Now-
Nothing hidden about it. It's right in your face. And a part of me is like, good, put it out there, let everybody see what you're working with, and they can decide for themselves. And I've seen a lot of people on both sides of the aisle giving pushback to this. So
I really wish you would stop playing the clip of Sam Smith squatting down with his legs spread in spandex over and over and over. It's making me
again, I'm jaded. I saw his last music video, and this is very. It's fine.
All right. All right, fine. Now moving on, we have Sam Smith in the news.
Yep.
So this guy apparently came out about, I think it was last year, about this time last
This
year. Let me check.
It's this they.
This individual
This collection of demons.
came out last year after the Brit Awards or during the Brit Awards and called for the Brit Awards to go gender neutral, which who cares? Fine. If you want to go and stop having the best female actor, musician, actor, I don't remember, probably musician, best female singer, best female vocalist versus best male, fine, let's do it. Let's just do it. But this year he comes out and says it's a damn shame that no women were nominated this year
Right.
after they went gender neutral.
Yeah, we talked about the hilariousness. I don't know if it was with you, but sometime I talked about the gender neutral awards and how men got all the nominations, which is just, I mean, funny on its own. Sorry, ladies, step your game up, I guess.
Yes.
And now we've got Sam Smith calling it out because the gender neutral awards didn't go the way he wanted, which is
You can share my screen if you'd like.
oh, can I?
Yeah.
Let me do that.
So it says Smith called for the award show to do away with male and female categories. Um, Said, but lamented this year that no women were nominated for the now gender neutral Artist of the Year category for the Brit Awards. British pop star Sam Smith, who identifies as non binary, called for awards to not make distinctions based on gender back in 2021. I look forward to a time where award shows can be reflective of the society we live in. Let's celebrate everybody regardless of gender, race, age, ability, sexuality, and class. Adele won the first gender neutral award category in 2022. So there you go. You got a woman there, supposedly. And while saying
There's a
she
conspiracy theory that Adele and Sam Smith are the same person. Which, if you they were showing like the overlays of Sam Smith fat and Adele like skinny, they've like met in the middle and crossed over. But how did they do fat Adele and skinny Sam Smith at the same time? It's really quite impressive.
that is that I mean a fat suit maybe, I don't know. We all saw like Miss Doubtfire and stuff. The things they can do with fat suits are uncanny.
It's true.
Says while saying she can understand why the nature of the award changed, she still praised women as a distinct group, proclaiming she is really proud of us. Um, However, no women were nominated for the gender neutral category, which Sam Smith said was a shame. It's a shame, the artist told the Sunday Times. Things are moving forward, but it's obvious it's not there yet. From seeing the best artist list, there is still a long way to go. No, it's a shame that
There
the
is still
women,
a long way to go, women. Step it up.
yeah, it's a shame they're not doing a good enough job to be the best artist. Not that they're not doing enough, or not that the awards aren't picking them. But
Really?
it gets
go ahead.
better. It gets better.
Well,
Smith,
I want to say, like, there's a part of me that thinks that that whole gender neutral all men thing nomination is a setup for the sake of this outrage, because who's deciding? Like, if the organization and the judges are the ones that are deciding to make it gender neutral, aren't they also the ones that nominate all the choices? Aren't they if there's any bigots in this, is it indicative of the toxic masculine culture, or is your awards people just misogynists themselves?
that's true. I don't think they have like a public vote for these things.
Exactly. I don't know.
Says Smith also appeared to call for awards to be given to underrepresented groups in order to inspire audiences rather than to praise achievement.
So give awards to people for chopping their dicks off. That's literally what you're proposing here. Not because they made good art in an art awards ceremony, but because they chopped their dicks off, they need to be praised.
Well, yeah, because the awards aren't to like say, "Hey, you did great." They're to like inspire audiences. Well, maybe the people with their dicks chopped off just need to do better at singing. It says
Take a
he
line
said-
out of whatever her name is in this Sam Smith song. She killed it. I'm not gonna lie. She sings quite well.
The Brits just have to celebrate everyone because this is not just about artists getting awards. Awards are for kids watching on TV thinking I can make music like this. When I was young, if I'd see more queer people at the awards, it would have lit my heart. Awards are there to inspire.
Now, if the nominees in the gender neutral awards were all gay dudes and trans women, so biological males, would that change Sam Smith's opinion? It's still all men. Does that count as diversity if it's still all men, but some of those men like to take their dicks and put them in weird places, sometimes the garbage?
Or turn them inside out.
Right.
I think, but those would be considered women. So then we'd have more women on the stage getting represented.
That's the hilariousness of this whole thing. It's like, you would be happy with gender diversity as long as it's all men dressed in dresses. That's enough diversity for you.
Yes, and like they gave their list here. The Brit Awards nominees are Central C, Fred Again, George Ezra, Harry Styles, and Stormzy. Now, I do know Harry Styles is known to throw on a dress
Right.
at a whim. So I don't know what he's talking about. This underrepresentation because we got Sam Smith there first of all,
Right.
and we got Harry Styles who is fine to throw on a dress. So I think the women representation is
Yeah, we've
is
got it covered, ladies. Don't worry about
it's
it.
there. We're good.
And I posted yesterday. At this point, if a man showed up at the Grammys wearing pants, it would be noteworthy.
It would be an outrage.
Yep. That's
Oh
great.
God.
This is all great. I mean, it's hilarious to me. It's I don't know. Even like the Satanism stuff. It's like, okay, bro, cute, and nice song, but I don't know. Do you think? Do you go to like, oh, this is all part of an agenda to push Satanism and transgender surgery on kids, or is this just art, subversive art for the sake of subversive art, and love who you love and all that bullshit? I think it's a conspiracy, but I also like this.
I think that they're portraying it in a way so you think it's just art, like edgy art, but I think there's definitely some sort of agenda driven behind it. In the very least,
It's just so on the nose. So on
yes,
the nose.
at the very least, it's let's get these people's panties in a bunch, and that first of all, like I don't know about you, but from what I know about marketing, like when you isolate yourself from at least 50% of your
At
potential
least.
customer base, at least 50%. That's not good business. It's like, you know what? I'm going to make these shoes, but I'm going to make them highly offensive to half of the people that actually like used to buy our shoes. I'm going to make them like
But it
extra
galvanizes your very niche market also. And if you
yeah,
need to get
oh,
some,
yeah.
like he's gotten me to talk about him for at least an hour or two at this point, just because of his super edgy wokeness. It's working. It's getting people to talk about him at the very least. So it's not terrible marketing, in my opinion, if you were going for, hey, people don't love my music as much as they used to. Let's niche down and get all the woke shit. Throw all the woke cookies in the batch, and let's see what comes out of it.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, the only people that watch that shit really anymore are the ultra woke to see how ultra woke it can be and to pat themselves on the back for their ultra wokeness and be like, we did an ultra woke thing. So I guess you might as well cater to that shit.
Yeah. Oh, did you
So
see Madonna?
I did, and I wish I'd never seen Madonna ever because I don't know what the fuck's going on with Madonna.
Oh, it's
But
impressive.
God, Madonna
No.
looks like a Wish app sex doll.
I said Madonna is a mega chad. Look at that jawline, man. She is a boss. She'll kick the shit out of you. She's like, here I said, quote, AI robot, draw Baphomet as a famous pop star.
I saw another picture of her in like a weird lumpy corset with that same face, and my exact thought was this looks like if somebody were to design a sex doll of Madonna, but it came from Wish app. It was a Wish app version of like Madonna's sex app. So
Yeah.
or sex, not app, sex doll. So
Right.
that's my opinion of her. You think she's AI drawn Baphomet drag or something, I don't know. But
Here's a sex doll for you. Just a little sneak peek, Craig.
good God.
Like I said,
Now,
once you've seen the last video, you will find Satan to be quite mild.
how did we go from like muscular, sexy dudes as like the pop icons, then
Or
kind of
even
turn
skinny, effeminate Sam Smith dudes. That's
gonna say,
fine.
then we turn to like kind of skinnier nerd type dudes, and then now we've got fat blob Michelin men in dresses or in drag and lack of dresses. I don't know. Like, is there actually people watching this and they're like, Man, that dude's hot. I want to be like that when I grow up.
I mean, honestly, like you probably had a lot more people saying, "Man, that dude's hot" when he looked like this than when
What
he.
happened to him?
It's like I don't know. Like if I wanted to go complete conspiracy land, and I mean this, I will. This guy is like he's desperate for attention at the very least, but they're pushing an agenda of unwellness all around, like
Oh yeah.
the obesity and the transitioning and the mental illness praising, and let's applaud. Let's applaud an individual on stage just because that individual has a mental illness and chop their penis off at the age of 16. Like it all kind of works together. If I went not conspiracy route, like I think that Sam Smith probably was tired of not getting attention as much, and he saw, Lizzo and these other lovely ladies, very healthy ladies, and he's like, "Yep, that's gonna get me some attention. What if I was fat and naked and dancing in devil horns? Like, yep, that'll get you attention, all right. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's the right attention, but it'll get attention."
I think, well, the whole Madonna thing, I think she's on a spiral course towards a train wreck because, I mean, I haven't heard about Madonna.
I'd say she's already there if you saw that picture.
Oh, yeah. But I haven't heard from her in probably 15 years. And then now she's been in social media too many times, at least 3, which is way too many. One, she was on like a podcast interview with a messed up face, but she did poppers like right there on the podcast. And the lady's like,
Really?
"Did you just do poppers?" And she's like, "No." And they both laughed because they knew she absolutely just did poppers right there. The other was when she come out at like 64 and she's like, "Oh, by the way, I'm gay." And then now
Right.
there's
And
whatever.
everybody was like, "Yeah, no shit, Madonna. Shut up."
Now there's this that came out, and it's just like everything that's come out
You
in the
telling me
last.
that the lady who made out with Britney Spears on stage back in 1999 is a lesbian? No, no way.
And I mean, she was kind of the Sam Smith of the 80s. Like, I'm going to be edgy. I'm going to like have a picture of me on a crucifix, like a
Yeah.
velvet crucifix. And yeah, so
Yeah,
she
it's
was
been
always,
done, even by Madonna. It's not new. In fact, it's quite old.
yeah. So, but I think her being back on social media is bad for her, and she's really craving the attention. And I feel like I'm just gonna throw this out there: she's gonna be dead in the next year. Just my prediction.
Like, because
Spiraling
she's a
really bad.
sacrifice,
Yeah.
or is she, or because the Botox she's more Botox than woman now? Is that
She
it?
she's spiraling majorly out of control, and you can just see when people start to spiral, and you're like, yeah, that person. I mean, just the the level of acceleration of spiraling that we're seeing, it if it doesn't slow down, it only ends in death for people.
Typically, it seems that way, and kind of the same with Sam Smith. But I don't know. Like these people are trying to look. It's like if you want to give them the benefit of the doubt, like are these Hollywood billionaires that are representing you? Are they Satanists or are they not Satanists pretending to be Satanists? Like at what point do you go, all right, you're worshiping Satan, like no more benefit of the doubt when you come out and say we're here to worship, and you're writing songs about infidelity and having trans strippers dance on stage in BDSM shit and having demons eat you at the end, and then it's sponsored by Pfizer, which is, in my opinion, just the best part of all of this.
Yeah.
At what point do you say, all right, it's not an act anymore?
At what point do these people that think they're acting act so hard that eventually end up worshiping Satan, and they just like they started out, hey, this is all an act, but they do it, they commit so hard to it, and then they get to the point where they're just like, oh shit, we actually were worshiping Satan. They didn't even realize it because they were
Oh,
just
shit.
acting so hard.
Right. And even that's giving them benefit of the doubt. Oops, we're Satanists now. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't want to be the right wing pundits who are like, anything that looks scary is scary and evil. But at some point, you got to be like, well, they're not really being all that subtle about it anymore. And Marilyn Manson, like if you want to compare it to Manson or old school Madonna and stuff, it's like some of that I'm sure was edgy, played up, and also there's like, Manson getting inducted as a like Satanist priest or whatever in the Church of Satan. It's like, well, okay, so it's not necessarily an act.
Yeah.
It is for edgy's sake, but also there's, it's not just art.
I feel like to actually be inducted as a Satanist priest, you have to have a mild, small level of Satanism inside of you, because I don't think they're just going to give that away to anybody.
I consider Marilyn Manson to be basically the satanic mascot. They're like, yes, we have one in pop media. Yes. And now he looks like Nicolas Cage in drag. But hey, it's just funny to me also, as these Satan devil worshippers get older, it gets more and more grotesque looking because, man.
And sad. It's very sad.
It's like, so that's how that helps your soul. If it turns you into an old, just gross, I don't know, blobs of demons.
Well, I gotta go.
Yeah, me too. This is enough Sam Smith for one day.
Yes. This has been great.
This has. Where can people find you and all the Satanism that you do, Craig?
I can not find the Satanism that I don't do at breakthebellpod.com, which is where all the links to my podcast, which is the Break the Bell podcast, and follow my links at Break the Bell Pod. You can find all things. We talked about balloons last night for 2 hours. Balloons. So it was fun. It was special.
For my birthday, right?
Yeah. The Chinese sent you a birthday balloon, just so you know.
Yeah. That was my joke all last week.
Oh,
that the government was just trying to fuck up my birthday surprise. Stacey Fowler says, it's not an act. They know that people won't believe that's what it is. To be clear, I think you're probably right. I just like to literally play devil's advocate in all things and be like, hey, maybe not. And if not, what does that look like? And giving all the benefit of the doubt, this is still pretty gross. So yeah, you're probably right, but whatever. You can find me at thesystemsdown.tv or wherever the Systems Downs are sold, and on Twitter primarily for social medias, and where I throw out the random dry, spicy quips at TSIDpod on Twitter and all that fun stuff. But we'll be doing an episode tomorrow on I'm not sure what yet, because I was going to talk about this, and then Craig said, hey, let's talk about this tomorrow. So here we are, and I will be very sad to not talk about Sam Smith tomorrow unless he comes out, doing something even more bombastic, which would not surprise me at this point. But any final thoughts, Craig?
Satan's fat and gay.
Satan is fat and gay, and this has been Fat and Gay 2 Scoops.
This has been 2 Scoops Morning News every Tuesday and Thursday at 7 a.m. Central or whenever we feel like it. Until next time, hang in there, America.